Hi everyone, how's it going today? So today I'm discussing Saturn's uh, transit into the sign of Aquarius, okay? From January 17th up until it goes retrograde June 17th. So around 5 months, okay? I'm only making this video up until the retrograde because I like to break it up into big pieces. Saturn's gonna stay in Aquarius a long time, okay? 2023 just started, but last year in 2022, it actually went into Aquarius, but just for a little bit, and then it came right back out, and it was moving very slow. This time, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? In the energies of Saturn, which I'll talk about right now. So, I apologize, there's a lot of background noise. I'm in my house in India, okay? But I'm not here for very long. I wanted to stay for a lot longer, but unfortunately I have to go back. We're actually going back today. I'd just booked my ticket, so yeah, that's what's going on. But anyways, I needed to make this video and as well as my Mars video because they're pretty important, and I didn't realize how quickly they're coming up, and I was kind of busy for the limited amount of time I was here. Anyways, moving on. So Saturn goes into Aquarius in about 10 days from today, okay? Maybe 8 days from the time this gets uploaded or whatever. So obviously, when Saturn goes into Aquarius, it is the time, and I mean the time, to get karma fulfilled, okay? This is like, there is no better time. So if there's any time to like not be selfish or anything like that, now is the time, okay? Now is the time to just kind of switch off the material mode if possible and go into that mode, okay? Especially due to some of the other planets placements, which I'll talk about right now. So one thing here is that for these 5 months, Saturn is in Aquarius and it aspects Rahu in Aries, okay? Not only does it aspect its debilitation sign, which is not necessarily a bad thing because it's the third aspect, okay? Not all aspects are equal. So when Saturn is in Aquarius, its third effort aspect on Aries is actually a good one. Like, planets there are kind of forced to get under the hook of Saturn, okay? Under the influence of Saturn. And for our Rahus, that would be a very great thing, right? Because Rahu's all about like a master manipulator. So if you put it under Saturn's very harsh disciplinary karmic character, it's even better, because not only is Saturn in Aquarius, but it kind of has Rahu a little bit under control. Okay, so this is really, really good. And Rahu is not in Aries the whole time Saturn is in Aquarius. So you want to really utilize this time. And Saturn at the beginning of Aquarius, I think, actually behaves the best, right? Why? Because it's in Mars's nakshatra, and it just finished coming out of its other own sign of Capricorn, okay? Also, I apologize for the shaky camera. I don't have my stand. I'll have it for the next video, though, when I'm back home. So Saturn is, it kind of has Rahu under its hook, okay? So it's really, and it's at the beginning of Aquarius, okay? It's really, really, really great time to like get going. Like, don't wait around, okay? Like, at the end of this transit, it's not going to be as strong, in my opinion. Like, the whole entire transit of Saturn and Aquarius. I'm not talking about these 5 months only. But so that's why you want to utilize these 5 months a lot, because Saturn has Rahu under its control. Also, the last 1/3 of this transit, Jupiter's in Aries as well, okay? So the Guru gets kind of involved. So the Guru is under the hook of Saturn, and the Guru and Rahu are kind of together, which could go either way, but because they're both under the hook of Saturn, in my opinion, it's a little bit more better, okay? So point here is, especially when Jupiter goes into Aries, at the beginning of this transit, you kind of want to get started as much as possible, and at the end, Guru, for over a month, almost 2 months, Guru will help you out a lot more, okay? So like, to kind of keep you on the right path and make adjustments as needed, okay? Also, one other thing is that all three of what I like to call the material planets, which are Mercury, Venus, and Sun, pass through Aquarius during this transit, okay? First Venus, then Sun, then Mercury, okay? good news is 2 out of the 3 are friends with Saturn, okay? Which is Mercury and Venus. So first Venus passes through, then Sun. And while Sun's still there, Mercury enters the picture, okay? And the order that they come is the order that they leave. So none of them kind of jump ahead of the other or anything like that. So first Venus comes in with Saturn at the very beginning of this transit. And I wouldn't say the very beginning, but relatively at the beginning. This is a great time that, like, there's some relationship in your life or something like that, or something Venus related, which you kind of want to solidify a little bit more. This is a good time to do it in general, okay? In general. So just keep that in mind. Then Sun's going to come in. So naturally, let's just say you solidified something, Venus. Let's just say, I'm going to use a hypothetical example of a relationship, okay? You can use this with anything in your life that you're kind of thinking about solidifying, like a source of income or anything like that. Or like even any other relationship, or like a relation that maybe kind of sparks here or like forms, not non-romantically or anything. But let's just use an example of a relationship, right? Because that's like you guys' favorite example, like in like all emails. Okay. So first Venus comes in, right? So Saturn can kind of influence your Venus to kind of be a little bit, hey, like stop messing around, right? Like if you're going to do something, do something. So let's just say, you decide to become a little bit more disciplined and, take action there. Then Sun comes in, right? So Sun is not good friends with Saturn at all, right? So then your ego kind of gets involved. Like, oh, like, is this the right person? Blah, blah, blah. Like, are they good enough for me? All these games that the ego plays, right? And then when Sun's still there, but it's not combust, Mercury kind of comes in the picture. And then Mercury kind of is like, hey, look, because it's still with Sun, but it's not combust, it's like, hey, we recognize that ego has its thoughts. It's always going to have its thoughts. But let's try to be a little bit smarter. And let's try not to just impulsively listen to the Sun. Okay, so that's kind of going to be the flavor of the energies at the beginning of this transit, okay? And one other thing, I think I just remembered at the very end of this transit, I think Mars might be in Cancer. And it's worse, and it doesn't behave that good at the beginning of Cancer specifically. So, and why am I discussing this is because when Mars is in Cancer, it aspects Saturn, and its main sign, Aries, has Jupiter and Rahu in it, which Saturn aspects. Okay, so kind of, and even before Mars gets actually in Cancer, when it gets closer and closer to it, its influence kind of sheds there a little bit. So I'll discuss on it lightly right now. At the very, very end of this transit, when Mars goes into Cancer, or even if it doesn't make it all the way to Cancer, but it kind of like is getting close, you could feel a little bit more emotional and impulsive, okay? The best thing to do here is just to recognize, first of all, don't do anything to excite your emotions or impulsiveness anymore. But the best thing you can do is just to understand that your emotions come and go, okay? Just like night and day, rain and shine, summer, winter, whatever. It comes and it goes, your emotions. Now, sometimes it rains a lot longer than you want it to. Sometimes it's cold a lot longer than you want it to. You just got to get over it, okay? But I would encourage you not to act so impulsively out of emotions, especially at the end as Saturn kind of gets ready to go retrograde in its own sign, okay, also. So, but I'll discuss more about that when Saturn goes retrograde, because I think Mars is going to be in Cancer the most when Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius. So I'll discuss more about this then. And just one other thing I want to touch on is that Ketu, I'm pretty sure, is in Libra this whole 5 months. So when it's in Libra, it aspects Aquarius, which Saturn is in. This is really good, okay, because you can kind of detach from all the Libra-ish things that you need to, but in a way that if there is some karma with somebody, Ketu will make sure that that thing is there, ready for you, okay? So this is kind of my short video. on Saturn in Aquarius for these 5 months, okay? So if you have any questions or comments, as usual, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you guys so much for watching.